Alright, what's up Ride Warriors? Welcome back to Planet Coaster and Evergreen Groves. I am Danny Miller here again. We're going to continue in this episode, which I believe part 18 I think we're up to already. You'll notice that I've made quite a dramatic change to the food building here. I really wasn't liking, after the end of the last episode, I wasn't really liking sort of the curves look here. It looked like I put curves in there just for the sake of having curves. So I instead did this little overhang thing here, and I duplicated that here on both sides, so it looks pretty nice. And I also duplicated it on the back. I added some windows and doors and some accent pieces, and I also made sure that all of my colors are consistent with the other buildings that I've already done. So I think we're in relatively good shape here as far as this goes here. So we'll go down and look at player height, employee height right there. So I think that's looking very, very good. So in this episode, I think we want to sort of put some lights on this building. And originally I was thinking that, maybe we could do the lampposts and everything, but with the eaves and the overhang here, those lampposts that we have out front, don't sort of, they don't fit. So I think we want to put some, they don't fit in terms of space. I mean, theme-wise, they obviously fit. But so I think what we're going to do is we're going to end up doing, those, it's called Firehouse Emergency Light. But in reality, it's sort of just a basic light that goes on things. So let's see, where can I find it? It's in here somewhere. Another thing that I've also done is I've actually gone back and actually made a note in my iPhone as far as the color codes for all the different things. There it is, the Firehouse Emergency Light. I've gone with I've put down the color codes for a lot of the different things. That way, nope. That way, when I go to duplicate things, yeah, there we go. That way, when I go to duplicate things, I've got the I've got sort of the color codes at my disposal that I need to use, and none of those are it. I think this needs to be 274E13 is what all those other ones are. Fantastic. So I've got position snap on, I've got angle snap. So I think it's sort of weird that they're at that height. At least it looks weird here, but I guess, if I get out of first person, if I go over here to these buildings, that's sort of where they're going. That's where they go. So let's change the lighting here to, say, 6 p.m. And see, those lights sort of give off light everywhere. So let's look at what happens when we put them sort of in that same sort of position. If I zoom down here and then I go off to the side, yeah, I mean that looks good. If I just place that one down and I do the advanced move and I sort of go up like this, it sort of just, it moves the light with it, because it sort of projects it in a circular way. So I think perhaps actually doing the snap, the position snap, to make sure that they go. Now see, that one goes to a different spot. That's very weird. Where does it go on these other ones? Goes there. It's center. Goes there. And that one, it wants to go lower. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the shift. Now we've got multiple things, and we're going to slide them up so that they're roughly level with the others, so that it actually looks correct. Those look good. So now we've got these nice lights that are sort of along here. I thought about maybe putting the lights, the fairy lights, along the roof here, perhaps. I think there's something to be done there. Yeah, maybe over on the sides here, I think we could have them be lower. Because the roof's lower, so I think it naturally looks like maybe they're in a better spot. Here it's like the archway, so it doesn't really have a particular spot that it really likes. Okay, so we'll figure that out. So, I mean, that just looks really, really nice the way that that's sort of come out. I mean, we could put them on the columns as well, but I feel like that's overdoing it a bit. I'm liking how this looks at this point. See, now it's snapping up to that higher height, which is fine. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me at this point. Let's do the advanced duplicate and move here on this one, and let's put it over. I'm gonna just have to eyeball that one. I think it's pretty close. Probably go over just a little bit more. Right in line with that grid line. I think that's good enough. Yeah, it's much better. Okay, let's go to the other side. Getting really good with the camera. So let's move this so that it's... Let's get in line with the grid line. Right about there. So I can barely see it. And we'll move it so that it's right there. That looks pretty damn good. Okay, so now we've got lights here. There's also lights that need to kind of go this area, but see, they're snapping to where the windows are because I have the position snap on. Yeah, I mean we'll put these up higher just because they give a little bit of light here. They're not tremendously useful there, but we'll go with it. Let's see here. Let's see where we can put our light. I mean, they want to snap there. So I mean, I guess it can snap there. Snap. Let's turn the position snap off for a minute. As far as a height, yeah, I want it to be a little bit higher than those. Oh, we can do it in that sort of way, and then we'll align ourselves with this grid line to place it. I mean, we could put it halfway between the door and the window. I mean, it's going to be pretty much eyeballing it, which isn't a bad thing, I guess. It's sort of, yeah. I mean, it's just going to be eyeballing it, which I guess is okay for something like this. I mean, it's just good to have a light there. So let's do the advanced duplicate and move, and we'll sort of eyeball it in the center again. I mean, that's fine. Then I guess do you really need the other lights along there? I guess you don't. So I think we'll just leave it at that. There's no reason to have lights anywhere else on the back side of the building. So then I guess the question is, do we want lights up a little higher? I mean, we've got lights now along the midway, which looks fine. But then the rest of the building is quite dim. And maybe we want to do the arm light. That's the up light. Maybe we want to do the arm light that we used for the carousel really nicely. And maybe we could place one of those above the peak of each window. And maybe another one in the middle. It's sort of... yeah, I mean, that's a little too bright. So maybe we could, like I said, we could sort of tuck these away here. And I think that it might look just as good. Let's see if I turn position snap on, if they go where I want. Oh, they get very, very close. So let's see here. These are paintable. I know these are paintable because I've done it before. I think we needed to paint them. Was it that color? Was it that color? I think it was. Yeah, I think that's the right color there. So now let's change this to 12 p.m. lighting. And the reason being is I need to sort of match this color to the brown. So let's start with that preset brown, and that's actually pretty good already. It needs to be a little bit darker, I think. So we need to bring it down in this sort of direction. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit less orange, like grayish more. I think we could bring it to there. Yeah, that's starting to look good. Maybe a little bit lighter. Like, that looks pretty good. I think we're going to go with that. So what I'm going to do is, since they're snapping to position, I'm going to put it there. And put it there. Marvelous. So now I'm going to select both of them. Do the advanced move. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bury them up to the elbow. Well, actually, I need to raise them first. I'm going to raise them and I'm going to bury them up to the elbow, which is sort of what I did on the carousel, or at least to there, because I do want them to point down a little bit, so I don't want to bury them too much. And then I'm going to lower the height so that they're right about there, so that they'll sort of light up our windows in a nice way. That'll be good. Let's see what we think of that. Because it'll light up the windows nicely. Let's change it to 6 p.m. again. Yeah, so we've got the top windows sort of being lit up nicely, and if we go to 11 p.m., which is the extreme here, very, very dark in the game, now we're looking up, and yeah, I mean it's subtle. It's subtle up there, but I think it gives kind of the look that I want without being too overpowerful as far as the lighting goes, which is similar to how the carousel was kind of lit. Let's see if I want to do. Oh, see, I like this now. Those sort of emergency, those firehouse emergency lights. If I just put one on each end, that they're sort of there. Now if I look up at this, yeah, I think that's pretty good. I don't know. What do you guys kind of think? I mean, this kind of gives the nice underlighting of the roof there just a little bit. If I take those away, yeah, I think having just a little bit more there is nice, because now I look at this and yeah, I've at least defined the sort of look of the building. I think that's nice. And if I sort of look at it from this way, I think that looks pretty good as well. Let's go around the back side. Yeah, see the back side. I think I want them there as well. I think I want those there as well. Let's see here. Let me just zoom in. See approximately where I've put them. Arm light. They're gonna keep the same colors. Perfect. Oops. Get back into third person with the rotation. Okay, so now I can do the shift and multi-select. Advanced. Get back into first person. Move around. Move them up to right about there. And I'll slide them in just about there. And I'll move them up just a tiny bit more. Yeah, I think that's good. So now let's go back to our nighttime view. Let's change it back to 11 p.m. for example. So now, yeah, now you've just got a little bit of lighting up on those windows, so you can at least tell that there's a building there, which is good. I think that's kind of the look we're going for. And then now on the storefront part of the building, it's very nicely lit. It's a little bit more subtle up at the top, but you can still see the nice woodwork of those fancier windows that we put up here. And these windows are lit up nicely, and you've still got your flower boxes that look quite nice. So now, I guess the question is, if I get out of first person again, I think I want to do something else with this building. I mean, this building is looking really good, and at this point I'm pretty happy with where we're at with it. So, do we want to do another accent piece or two? I don't know exactly what we would go for. I kind of want to put something on these columns. Let's just go into the flowers real quick. Maybe we don't need anything. Maybe by the time we do flowers and planters and stuff, we'll actually be very nice. We've got planters here. We've got crate planter, which will actually fit quite nicely in between those things. That would look good. We've got a barrel planter, which we can place sort of there to look nice. We've got this planter here. Got a tree metal guard. Let's see. Let's go back to the buildings. I like some of those planter ideas. They look okay. Wall signs, and I think they were called projectors. Yes. So here they were. We've got that type of sign, which is way too big for what this is. We got a coffee projector sign. That is just massive. Street Fox Coffee. Monsieur Frites. See, these are way too big for what I want. If those were quite a bit smaller, I would maybe put those hanging off. Gulpy energy, gulpy energy, gulpy slush, gulpy slush. I mean, I would maybe put these if they weren't so big. Chief beef. See, you've got that, and you've got this, which is even bigger. Yeah, I'm not really digging those. Kind of want to put something. Kind of want to put these here. But I don't know where to put them. I guess we could put one here. Let's figure out what color these need to be. How does that look? Yeah, see, that looks pretty good. I mean, it seems to let me see what color the window frames are. The window frames are, according to this, my window frames are 183B07, which is a slightly darker green. So I could do that. I think that looks good. And then this brown, let's see if we can match this brown again, sort of like we did. Yeah, I mean that looks pretty good. So I think we can do that. And then we can do, oh, nope, not that one. We'll do it on this one, since they're sort of spaced apart, if you will. You know, now that I see those, I'm kind of thinking that I want to switch the colors. I think I want the outline to be the wood and the sign to be the green. And that wood is just, I think it needs to be a little bit brighter. I want it to truly match. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Give it a bit more color. I'm gonna put something on these. I'm not quite sure what, but I want them to be higher. I don't want them to be necessarily blocking everything. So we're gonna do the advanced duplicate, or not duplicate. We're not duplicating. It's just the advanced move in this context here, and want to move these up right about. We'll put them right about there. I think that looks good. I think that's good. I don't know what I'm going to. I don't know what I'm going to put there just yet. Let's see, if I'm at player height and I'm walking through the park. I mean, I've got this nice view. Yeah, it'll be something good to put. It'll be good to put something there. I just don't know what it's going to be yet. Maybe. What kind of trees are these called? These are blue fir trees. So maybe. I'm starting to think ahead a little bit to the theming. My themed areas and things. I've got these blue fir trees. I've got these blue fir trees along sort of my main street area here. But I don't know what I want to call them just yet. But I think I want to have a name for my midway street here. I think I want to have a name for it. I just don't know what that name is yet. But I think once I decide, I will put that on those two signs there. So that should be pretty good. Why don't we, since we're at 25 minutes, this isn't quite long enough to do a video, a full-blown video yet. Why don't we decide what we're gonna do as far as, you know, bushes or planters go here, because we've got some time. So why don't we do that? So let's edit this building, and we're gonna go to the scenery. And we've got these wall climbers. Let's see how if these wall climbers, so they actually go on the wall. So we've got climbing roses that sort of go on. Those look really neat. Now I'm not actually going to do this, but I'm kind of curious now if I can have the climbers sort of go on the fence, and I can. That's pretty cool. And I've got the tropical vines. I can sort of make the vines hanging off of. So that's pretty neat. Let's set the lighting. We're going to change it to more of a morning sun, if you will, to put the light sort of on this side of the building, so I can sort of accurately see the colors and everything. So I know we don't want hangers. We've got bushes and things. We've got begonias that we can put in. Oh, those look nice. We've got petunias. We've got a petunia bush that looks quite nice. Oh, that's a little bit too big. We've got a rose bush, a red leafy bush, a red floral bush. Oh, see, that's way too big. Just sort of going through here because we haven't spent much time on flowers and foliage pretty much at all here, except plunking down a few things. I'm trying to find something that's, you know, roughly about the right size for this area. Forest bush, that's massive. Forest bush 2 is also massive. I think we already did that. Begonia flowers we already looked at. What else? We've got white floral bush. Oh, see, that looks kind of nice, but it's a little bit big. Yellow floral bush, that looks nice as well. Okay, so there's definitely some options there. Let's go to the planters and see what we've got. We've got a log planter, which actually looks pretty cool to have there. I don't dislike that at all. Then we've got the crate planter, which is very big. Can I actually put things in the planters? So if I can sort of put this here, can I put things in it? Trough planter. There's your topiaries, which are actually nicely sized, but I don't really want to be cutting off the look of the windows or anything. Bushes, red floral bush. So I guess I'm confused as to how I'm to use that empty planter, because you would think that you can put, and maybe everyone who's watching this knows much better than I do how that's supposed to be used. Actually, I'm kind of liking the way these look right here. These look quite nice. So they're round. Oh, and a lot of these are colorable too. So you've got petunias that are colorable, which we already knew about that. Aligned to surface. I mean, we're not position snapping, but that's okay. I actually kind of like that. I think the petunias are kind of my leader in the clubhouse at the moment. For the flowers, we've got begonias. See, they're too. I mean, I could place a lot of them, but I kind of feel like I just want to have sort of one set for now. I think the petunias are It's sort of like a round petunia bush of sorts, and it's got these different colored flowers on it. I kind of like the look of that. So let me look here. And I'm gonna... Petunias tend to be... they actually tend to be very much those colors there. Oh, that's interesting. That's like the leaf color. Yeah, you don't want to change that. Just looking at what they change. Yellow. Yeah. So I think I think that those pinkish purpley colors that it's defaulting to, I think that actually looks pretty nice. Generally speaking, in front of that window. So what I'll do perhaps is I'll do the advanced move on this. I'll just place it and then sort of figure out where approximately I want it. Because I do want it to be centered. That looks pretty good. And then I want it to be sort of in the middle of... I don't want it to be out on the midway, but I want it to be close to the middle of that column. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. If anything, it looks like if anything, it looks like it's biased to the left a little bit, but visually it looks like it's biased to the right. I almost want it to move a little bit this way, if anything. 'Cause visually that looks more centered like that, even though the arrow tells me. But the origin isn't necessarily right in the middle either. So we'll do the advanced duplicate and move. And what we'll do is we'll do the rotation. I'm actually gonna rotate it 180 degrees so it looks different than the other one. And yeah, see, the same sort of deal here. It looks biased one way, so the center doesn't actually look like it's completely centered. So let me get centered on the window frame approximately as best as my mouse handiwork sort of can do. And we'll sort of just place it as best we can based on that. And I know that because I've rotated it 180 degrees that it's going to be slightly biased to the right of the center of the window frame, which is about where that is. So I think I'll go ahead and place that and it'll look very nice. So now as I come in to the park, I've still got the beautiful grand carousel out in the distance. I've got this lovely food building here with some signs, and now I've got some flowers that sort of give it some color here. And that looks really nice. And when I walk up here, I've got the flowers, and I've also got the flower boxes that are sort of on the windows, which look really very nice. And I've got my employees. This guy with like the weird mustache, and this guy's got his hair dyed like partially green, like a very bad dye job of some sort. So that's quite funny. Yeah, so this looks really good. I'm really happy with how this is looking at the moment. So why don't we set the lighting We'll set the lighting to 12 a.m. midnight. So now we're in the park, and now we've got, yeah, we've got these that are lit up nicely. Oh, I know what we should do. So maybe one more thing in this episode. We should put those arm lights. Let's in decorations and lighting. Oh, and arm light. We should put arm lights. Is my position snap on? It is. There we go. We should put the arm lights on that are pointing down at the canvases. And they could probably even go up pretty high, but they should go over the canvases. Not over these, because I think that's going to be too much, but they should go over the canvases, so that we've got some lights on the canvas names. So I think that's what we'll do. Let's see here. I'm going to have to figure out what color those were. And I don't know that I made a note of that. I don't think I did. I know that the light needs to be... this cream color right there. I know that for sure. There we go. Because now when we put this over here, we'll put it up top. And I'll just leave them white for now because I know that... I'll leave them white for now because, well, I think I'll take a guess. Yeah, it might have been that color. At any rate, I will fix it after the video recording is done. So that's gonna snap there. That's gonna snap there, and that's gonna snap there. So now, do Shift, click, Shift, click, and now I'm going to do the, I'm going to click X, because that's going to advance move all of them, and T will get me into first person. And now I'll be able to light up the awnings that we've given them, and it'll actually light up sort of the pathway that's going up to there, because we're eventually going to have midway lighting and everything to sort of do that as well. So this will do a little bit of that for us, and it'll light up these awnings again, like I said, very, very nicely. So we'll put them a little bit higher though. Oh, and because they snapped to like the window position, they're sticking out a little bit. So we'll put them sort of as high as we can. I think that looks good there. And then we can sort of go over, and then yeah, we've got the nice light on the Gulpy sign, and it's lighting up our midway just a little bit. And then we've got the Chief Beef sign that is lit up, and then Monsieur Frites lit up nicely. And it's sort of, they're sort of hidden up there. They're very difficult to see those. So we've got the nice lighting that's going over our signs, and then the more. So we've got a lot of lights down here where we need people to see when they're getting their food and stuff at night. And then we've got a little bit more subtle lighting. We've got a little bit more subtle lighting up on top of the building. So this is just looking very, very cool. I'm very, very happy with how this building is looking. You know, I think at nighttime it looks great, and it's very functional now. We've got our Gulpy, we've got our Chief Beef, and we've got our Monsieur Frites. And we've got these flowers here, which look very nice. And we're going to be able to put some sidewalk lighting of sorts, even if it's just those little posts there. But this is looking very, very nice at this point. And then again, if we're able to go to daytime, I'll change it to like 10 a.m. Daytime, so you can get a look of this build, it's looking very, very nice, and those lights don't really take away from anything at all. So I'm really, really happy with how this is coming along. So I think now that we've got the lighting and sort of the accents for this building, our food building done, and everything is looking really very nice, I think what we will do is on the next episode, we will perhaps move over to the other side of the Midway, and we will start building the building for our gift shop, which is going to be a very different type of building. As you can see, the shops are sort of back here, and you enter in through here. So I think, whoa, extreme lag. What we're going to do is we're going to do something a little bit different. I think we're going to do less of a square building, and we'll actually be able to work some curves into that building, which will present some different challenges for us. But until then, I will leave you with the view of the building that we've spent the last, 2 or 3 episodes really decorating and making look good here. So our main Midway is coming along very, very nicely. So thank you for joining me for another episode of Planet Coaster, here as we continue to construct Evergreen Groves. I've been Danny Miller. Hope you guys are enjoying, and I hope I will see you in the next one.